There are 37 articles on the warrant for tonight's special town meeting in Marshfield, and joining us this morning with a preview is town moderator Jim Fitzgerald. Mr. Fitzgerald, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Dan. It's a pleasure to be here.
So the issue which seems to be generating the most attention right now involves an MBTA Communities Multi-Family Overlay District, and that's going to be debated in 2 articles.
It's 3 articles, actually, although so long as whether we do all 3 articles will be determined by whether or not it's a positive vote or a negative vote on the first of the articles. If town meeting votes no and turns down the MBTA article, we won't be discussing the other articles. And if town meeting votes in the affirmative and the overlay district is passed, then we will vote on the other 2 articles.
But it is expected there'll be some debate and discussion there, I'm imagining.
There will be, I would assume, an incredible amount of debate on these articles. There is a motion that I have received from one individual that wants to table the articles to a future date. We will address that at the beginning of our discussion on these MBTA articles. And after that, I expect somewhat of a vigorous debate. There's some new information, which is why this is before the town, but the town has voted this down twice earlier. So this is the 3rd time around, and I think a lot of the information is out there in general, so we'll see how the debate goes.
Now, are there any other articles which you expect to generate a great deal of debate and discussion?
Yeah, there's one in particular. There's an article from the school department for replacing the roof on one of the schools, which will involve a debt exclusion. So that's going to take some explanation. The school roof is quite old and needs to be repaired, and getting the money to afford to do that is always a challenge because it's a multi-million-dollar project. So I expect that there will be a good deal of discussion on that article as well.
Now, are there any protocols or procedures that town meeting voters need to be aware of tonight?
Nothing unusual from what we have done in the past. I am going to bring a couple of articles up early. We typically do our articles by lottery, and there are a couple that people have asked me to come bring them up sooner. There's one from the veterans agents that they're particularly interested in, and they can't be around if the meeting goes into a second night. So we're going to bring that forward. There was one from the DPW where there's a paid consultant, and so they don't want that to continue to a second night. And there's the MBTA article. So we'll be bringing those up first. And after that, it's the same usual situation where we bring up the articles by lottery.
And do you think town meeting will wrap up in one night, or you see it going a second night?
It really depends how much conversation there is on the big articles. If I like to let people talk for a reasonable amount of time on any article so that most people, if not all people, get a chance to get their opinions heard before town meeting. That's the whole point of having open town meeting, is that the residents get a voice. So if that takes an extended period of time, it'll be a challenge to get through 30 articles in the course of a single evening, in which case we'll have to go to Tuesday night as well.
All righty. Well, Marshfield Special Town Meeting will begin at 7 o'clock at Marshfield High School. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We do appreciate it.
Thank you, Dan.